So let's bring in Michael Cohen, Donald Trump's former fixer and attorney. He is now a principal of Crisis X. He's the host of the Mea Culpa and Political Beatdown podcasts and the author of the New York Times bestseller, Revenge: How Donald Trump Weaponized the U.S. Department of Justice Against His Critics. Michael, great to have you here tonight.
Good to be with you.
Okay, so you just heard the former attorney general say that he believes that Donald Trump knew that he lost the election. And what do you think about that being a defense, that his attorneys are going to say he believed that there was election fraud, though nobody could ever show evidence of it?
Well, Donald will now reach to any defense that he thinks will exonerate him from the charges that are being brought against him. He will lie in order to accomplish that. But I have a whole issue with Bill Barr, to be honest with you. So Bill Barr is a man who was Donald Trump's fixer after me. He became the Attorney General of the United States. As far as weaponizing the Department of Justice, he was the department. He was the head of the Department of Justice. He was. It would be no different than Sammy the Bull Gravano for John Gotti. And before he has the ability to come on, whether it's this station or any station, and talk about what Donald Trump did, what he needs to do is to come clean himself. Talk about, for example, the weaponization of the Justice Department that Donald told him to do, including, like what my book is about, how they, meaning Bill Barr, Donald Trump, etc., weaponized the Justice Department to go against a critic because I refused to waive my First Amendment constitutional right.
It's interesting that you say that because he did talk about Donald Trump weaponizing the DOJ tonight with Caitlin Collins. And what Bill Barr said was, I think there is no question that he believes these institutions should be used to go after his enemies.
Yeah, which is that's the whole premise of my book. However, who did he use in order to effectuate the goal? Bill Barr. And again, before Bill Barr gets a chance to sit there, try to welcome himself back to polite society, he needs to own what he did. He needs to be held accountable for his actions, the same way I did, for example, when I testified before the House Oversight Committee and the other 6 committees.
I can certainly understand why you have such strong feelings about him. He said something else interesting to Caitlin Collins tonight, which is about the amount of carnage, this is his word, that he thinks Donald Trump leaves in his wake. So let me play this for you.
He leaves in his wake ruined lives like this, the people who went up to Capitol Hill, these individuals, many of the people who served him in government that got sucked into things, and he just leaves all this carnage in his wake.
Do you think he cares about that?
No, he doesn't care about that. Loyalty is a one-way street for him.
I feel like you have something to say about that phenomenon.
Well, I agree with everything that he said, except for the fact that he was part of the group that was leaving the carnage in the street. He was part of the people who were weaponizing the Department of Justice. He is not an innocent baby in this case. He's, in fact, a guilty party. And again, he needs to come clean.
As we believe, well, I mean, the indictment says that there are 6 unindicted co-conspirators. And we have a graphic of who we know or we have reported on, who we believe they are, and then there's a 6th who we have not yet confirmed who that is. You know some of those folks, particularly Rudy Giuliani. What do you think is in store for these 6 unindicted co-conspirators?
A lot of trouble, because what will ultimately happen is government will come to these unindicted co-conspirators and give them an opportunity to tell the truth, to tell their side of the story. Each and every one of them knows, based upon the allegations, the causes of action that were raised in the indictment, each and every one of them knows that this is me that they're talking about. And right now, they're in the honeymoon stage where, all right, there's an investigation, they're looking into me. So far, there's nothing happening. But
and maybe they think that they won't. Maybe they think they won't be indicted. Maybe they're thinking they've gotten away with something.
And that's a foolish way to think, because the government, especially Jack Smith, is not allowing anybody to escape. So each and every one of them knows that this is me that they're talking about. And I think it's necessary for me to have my attorneys reach out to Jack Smith and his team to ensure that at least I have an opportunity to provide information, if they haven't already. Like, I'm a firm believer that Rudy Giuliani has already spoken.
What makes you think that?
Because I understand Rudy. Rudy has no interest in spending his remaining days on this planet behind bars for Donald Trump. In fact, I think the more important thing in this indictment to look at are not who the 6 co-conspirators are, but rather who is missing from this indictment. Like, for example, you don't see any mention of Mark Meadows. You see nothing of Jared Kushner. Jared Kushner was the secretary of everything. How is it possible that he is not listed here? He was there. He was on Donald's lap the entire time from the day Donald entered the White House to the day that he left.
So how do you explain it?
I believe he's probably a cooperating witness.
Jared Kushner, that's interesting because people have pointed out that Mark Meadows is conspicuously absent, okay, from the indictment. But Jared Kushner's his son-in-law. You think that his son-in-law would cooperate against Donald Trump?
Oh, in a heartbeat. Do you think Jared is any different than Donald? Do you think that Donald wouldn't throw Jared under the bus in order to save himself? The answer is an emphatic yes.
And you think the same is true of Mark Meadows?
Absolutely. Look, that's the one thing that Bill Barr said that I totally agree with, that Donald doesn't care about anyone or anything other than himself. He's a one-way street. And if that means that Jared has to go down to Mark Meadows or Rudy Kaludi or Eastman or any of them, he doesn't care. That's just who he is.
Speaking of Eastman, Eastman's attorney says that John Eastman will not turn on Donald Trump. So here's what he said earlier tonight.
Dr. Eastman is happy to tell his side of the story, to talk about the issues he believes are important to the Constitution and the country. And under the right circumstances, certainly he would share those views and share his recollections of everything that happened in 2020 with the special counsel. But if by cooperation you mean flipping on Donald Trump or providing incriminating information, then absolutely not.
That's interesting. He'll share his recollections of everything that happened, but he won't provide incriminating information. What do you think of that?
Yeah, nonsense. And the lawyers talking gibberish. Let me be very clear. You don't even really need John Eastman to come out and tell the story. Jack Smith already has the story. He has the text messages, the emails, and he has testimony from other witnesses that placed John Eastman into the middle of this, scenario. So if either he's going to turn around and deny it, which of course will be a 1001 violation for lying to law enforcement, or he's going to turn around and corroborate what the other testimony or the other witnesses have made. So whatever this guy says, it's irrelevant. Yeah, they're all right now, again, in the honeymoon stage where they're not feeling the full force of what Jack Smith is going to bring onto them. Look, I've been there, all right? And I'm talking about the Southern District of New York, 48 hours to plead guilty, or they're filing an 80-page indictment that's going to include my wife. That's on my case. Imagine what Jack Smith and the DOJ is going to do, knowing that they have the information, knowing they have the testimony, they have the documentary evidence and so on, in order to bring all of these people to justice.
Very quickly, Donald Trump's, one of his defenses seems to be, I was just listening to the advice of my counsel. They're the people who were telling me to pursue all of these, fraudulent election claims. What do you think of that defense?
Well, it's exactly why Rudy, Eastman, Clark, Sidney Powell, all of them need to come clean, and all of them need to provide testimony, because Donald is already telling them what he's going to do. He's going to use them as a scapegoat, like he kind of did with me. He's going to use them in order to exonerate himself, and they're going to be, like me, the ones holding the bag for Donald.
Michael Cohen, great to get your perspective as always. Thanks so much for coming in tonight.
Always good to see you.